Broadfield this Saturday as Tranmere are the visitors. What are your thoughts heading into that one?
Yeah, looking forward to the game. Another tough game. Strong opposition. I think they've actually had a really good start to the season, unbeaten. A little bit like MK, that they don't give up many chances, so defensively really strong, albeit they have conceded a few goals, but they've not conceded loads. But in actual fact, their XG against is really low, so they don't give you many chances, so defensively really strong. And of course, attacking wise, they're averaging 2 goals a game, so you know they've got goals in their team. They've got 2 strong wide players. They've got a willing centre forward who's a strong runner and is willing to work hard and press for the team. And they've got, you know, experienced players in the middle of the pitch and good players in the middle of the pitch as well. It's going to be a tough game. Like I say, they're in a good moment at the moment, based on the fact that they've had a really good positive start to the season. So it's always tough to play against a team who are confident, but certainly after Tuesday night's performance, we're confident too. So we're looking forward to the game.
Yeah, as much as we wanted to win on Tuesday night, the performance was much improved. It must give the players a great deal of confidence, and I can imagine the feeling in the training ground today was a good one. Yeah,
it felt great today in the training ground. You could tell the atmosphere was just different this morning than it has been, and it just goes to show what a good performance can do. And even though we didn't win the game, but the players know, and I think I'm always been a manager that goes after the performance. Performance is a key, and that will, if we get that right, we'll win games. And I think the players know that, and we were good. We were good Tuesday night, and probably deserved maybe to win that game. And yeah, listen, we can only use that as a vehicle to move us forward now and to gain confidence from, because you know, before a ball was kicked, everyone backs MK Dons to probably win the division by Easter. You know, and you know, with the recruitment they've done and the players they've currently got as well, they will definitely be in and around it. And the fact that we, you know, played in the manner that we played in the game, I think that we can be really encouraged by.
Yeah, it was a real tireless game, as we spoke about, both sides going at it. Both managers described it as that as well. Must have had an impact on the players. I'm not sure what the running stats were like, but I can imagine they were fairly high. How have the players sort of come through it, and you know, is there going to be sort of any ones that we need to look at ahead of the weekend?
Yeah, they've come through it fine. You know, we had 3 different groups today in training. Some kind of had modified training, some did the full session, some kind of did a recovery session. So it's important that we get that detail right, and that means that we'll get more out of them come the next Saturday or the next game. So it's important that we get that right. We feel we've done that. We've got obviously another training session to get through tomorrow to put in the coaching detail about how we want to attack this game on Saturday, and then we look forward to the game at the weekend.
Yeah, and it seems that we're slowly reducing the numbers in the medical room, which is obviously good news. Is there anyone that's sort of likely to come back at the weekend? Have we sort of gained anyone?
Well, you're saying reduce the numbers. We've actually added one. So Jay Williams is going to add to that list now. Is there anybody coming back? Harry Forster is a potential maybe for the weekend, and I think that's about it for now. So yeah, we've just been a little bit unlucky with the numbers in the treatment room at the moment. So yeah, we probably are a little bit light at the moment.
Yeah, and obviously we spoke about the atmosphere on Tuesday night, especially the second half. You know, fans had finally seen some football that they felt they could get behind. How much of an impact can that have on Saturday? Because we're going to need that from minute one, not just obviously the second half.
I think you're right. I think you're wrong in one aspect. I think you're wrong in the fact that the supporters can finally see something. I actually think that we've done all right in all the games apart from Grimsby. So I'll probably disagree with that comment. However, the fans were really good Tuesday night. I thought it was a really good atmosphere in the stadium. You know, I thought in both sets of fans, to be fair, but our lot were brilliant. You know, they were singing all the way through. They really got behind the lads, and when I walked out, they were brilliant as well. So, and we give them something to sing about, like you say, for sure. I do think that we've performed probably, and to add to it all, we've had some tough games, right? We've had Grimsby away. We didn't perform in that game. I'll be the first to admit it. We were terrible in that game. Newport at home, I thought we deserved to win that game had we have taken our chances. Crewe away, again, probably deserved a point out of that. in reflection, we probably should be looking at 5 points on the board at the moment. In my opinion, we've not. We've got one, and we wipe our mouth, move on, and get on to the next one. I think the fans have been amazing. Listen, even Crewe away, when we lose the game 1-0, we're coming off the pitch. They're singing the songs, and they're clapping the players, and rightly so, because I think that they can see that the players are having a right go. And even in them closing stages of the Crewe game, we had a right go, and I felt that we probably deserved something from that game. But certainly Tuesday night, it was a brilliant atmosphere. Great game to be involved in, actually.
Mark.
Brilliant. I wanted to start off with Ade. I know you praised him on Tuesday night. I was there, I think it was East Grinstead, in a pre-season friendly when he was on trial, and I spoke to him about him after, and he said, this kid's going to be special. How do you assess how far he's come since when you first signed him, and what kind of player has he developed into for you?
Yeah, I think he's grown as a player, definitely, and as a person. I think that he's become a better professional. I think he does his work better than he used to. I think he lives better, and I think we're starting to see a player with who's capable of churning out performances time and time again. Now, I don't think we had that. Certainly when he first come in, and probably spells of last season as well, where maybe there was a bit of inconsistency within his performances. 1 minute he'd be tip top, and the next minute he'd be a little bit loose with his play. So I think in the games that he's played this season, I think that we've seen somebody who's churned out kind of good performance after good performance, and he seems to have that little bit of continuity about his performances. So yeah, I think he's grown up. I think he's a better pro than he probably was when he first came in. He's learned how to be a good professional, and I think we're seeing the fruits of that now. He's potentially been or arguably been our best player, because the fullback, I think the fullback come off, I don't know if he come off with an injury or with an headache, but he certainly caused him an headache he twisted him up a few times and put some brilliant balls into the box, and he's so quick, so powerful, and he doesn't really need to do anything with his feet skill-wise. He just needs to push the ball past them because they're not catching him. And you saw that on Tuesday night. And yeah, I think he's been amazing. I think he's had a great start to the season.
Cool. And this is a comment I saw on Facebook. Never mind possession, formation, pivots, etc. Just give it to Dixon. Every time he got the ball, it felt like something would happen. How impressed are you how quickly he settled into this side?
That's my team talk for the weekend. Yeah, he's been great. He's been great. He's so kind of like naive in loads of ways, but in a good way, if that makes sense. Yeah. He's innocent with the way he plays. I think it's almost like he's playing in a park with his mates. Feels like he's free, and he's certainly playing that way. There's a couple of really great moments the other night, wasn't there? Where he drove us up the pitch, and I remember one action where he pirouetted in the middle of the pitch and got away from Liam Kelly, and Liam Kelly brought him down. I think it was just before Dion's free kick.
Right.
He had a good shot. He should have probably potentially scored in the second half when he played the ball wide to Harry McCurdy and then followed his run on. Harry pulled it back. They defended it well actually in the action, but I think he should have scored, and looking back at it now, I think he's disappointed that he didn't. But he's going to create goals and he's going to score goals, you can see that. But I love working with him. He's always got a smile on his face. He's a great kid. And yeah, he looks like he's just enjoying his football. He's playing with freedom, like I say, and yeah, long may that continue.
Cool. So I read this morning on one of our sister titles, the Northampton Chronicle, Kevin Nolan, manager of Northampton obviously, is planning to hold talks with EFL referee-in-chief Mike Jones this week over dodgy decisions in the first few weeks of the season. What has your view been of the refereeing so far?
Like I said in past interviews, I'm not allowed to, or we're not allowed to say too much in the press that's negative towards them. We've been told not to. However, I have been asked this 2 or 3 times now. So I feel I've got to give you something. The tough thing for me is that I've just done a report for Tuesday night's referee, and there was something like 22 decisions that I question. The problem I've got with that is that my job is tough enough as it is, and when I watch the game back, I should be watching the game back to improve my team, not to improve the referees. And I feel as if I'm doing a lot of work because of what I would see as poor refereeing. Maybe I get into trouble for even saying that, I don't know. But I'm doing a lot of work. You know, a lot of my day on Wednesday was taken up by watching the game back. I'm trying to learn about my team, but I'm also clipping decisions and then putting notes together and then coming in kind of after training to sit with the secretary for an hour to go through the referee's report and to put that together and to go through every single decision that I did think was right. So for me, there's a lot of work being done for me through the fact that their performance isn't very good. I don't think that's fair. No. And I feel that I wanna watch my game back to watch my players and not to watch, you know, a lot of poor decisions in my opinion. But I just think that it's not in a good place. It's really not in a good place, and I can understand why that's happening. I speak to Mike Jones by text nearly every Sunday and every Wednesday, and I'm putting reports in every week. And we should be getting to the point where we're not putting reports in every week, you know, and it feels as if we have to, because I'm unhappy with what I've seen. I think every fan in the stadium on Tuesday night was probably frustrated by what they were seeing, but you know, I think it is in a mess, yeah.
Yeah. And you said on Monday that there might be a new signing by Saturday. Is that looking promising?
Yeah, it is. It is looking promising. I think, if the truth be known, he may even be in a couple of rooms behind me now having a medical, so I'm hopeful.
Can you give us any indication on position? Or you don't want to?
Yeah, I can. He can play as a midfield player, and he can play as a centre back. So kind of like cover for a lot of position. I'm not saying we've signed him as a cover.
No,
it's not the case. But I'm saying he can play in a number of positions.
Brilliant. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.